Now, though, you can already see the respect being given over, right? Blacklist International, this is the draft that they've went for. A lot of magic damage. Without the S picked up in the early phase here for Blacklist International, Echo will take that away. Secondly, though, you can expect Edward to actually get counter or just targeted here. Maybe the Benedetta ban comes through because Blacklist still need a physical damage threat, but they still are going to try to nail down Venus's hero here. The Estes, now the Diggy.
Okay, so looking at Echo, they really want to make sure that when they dive, it is successful. But before that, we got a quote from Oh My Venus saying, we're kind of expecting that teams will ban the Estes, and we're actually prepared for it. I'm looking forward to see Estes in the banning section. And now, it has been banned. And what better place to show your maximum potential in the grand finals of the world stage?
With the Lolita being picked up here by Echo, they're leaving Benny Cutie in both a dangerous and also protected spot because again, they want to make sure that he isn't fully countered, but also you gotta wonder what else is out left there because the Beatrix is out, the Brody is out,
Matilda.
They themselves banned out the carry and the 1-1. Are you seeing a carry here? Oh, rather a Matilda?
Yeah, I'm thinking
Matilda
and Blacklist International lock it up. The Benedetta 2 earlier on. They need a physical damage threat. And guess what? The Barats actually work super well with the Matilda, and that's the reason Echo banned out all these marksmen. They wanted to go for the Lunox, they wanted to go for some burst damage and some more magic damage, knowing that Sanford on the Lapu likes to go for just a lot of damage. Remember, yesterday we saw the Hunter Strike, the Bloodlust Axe. This is a very physical Lapu.
I would say, with the draft coming in from Blacklist International, this is a very good draft to start game number 1 because it is a very simple draft. This is what is going to give you confidence moving to game 2 onward. So honestly, I'm liking the draft coming in from Blacklist because you can make very little mistakes with this kind of draft, with this kind of gameplay.
Yep, signature picks for all of our defending champions. For Echo, I'd like to say the only thing that's missing for me is the split push potential from Benny Cutie. It's not as potent when you're on a hero like Lunox, but what it does have is amazing team fight engagement. A lot of damage when you hit your power spike. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Indoor Sinayan and all across the world, I hope you're ready. It's time for game 1 in this best of 7 between Blacklist International and Echo.
Looking at both drafts, I would assume that they're not going to fight a lot in the early stages of the game. They're going to fight around Riverside. They're going to fight for the control around the turtle because they want to make sure that they have the levels first. So if you see any kind of rotation, it's all about maximizing the minions to make sure you get as much level 4s on your heroes before going into the turtle phase.
With 2 utility junglers, this is what you can expect, right? A lot of emphasis around the mid control. Why? To control the neutral objectives like you mentioned earlier. Mid control plays such a huge impact in this game, and you can already see for both of the teams, Venus and Haji, Sanji and Yaoi, they're focusing a lot, putting a lot of resources down into that mid lane to create some more pressure, but still, it's Blacklist International who secure the Lethal Wanderer.
Okay, so now, looking at Blacklist as well as Echo, not a lot of action will come true. I'm thinking they got to find a way for Echo to get Yaoi onto level 4 because that is a very big ultimate to have in the turtle fight. It's coming up in roughly 36 seconds. So Echo as well as Blacklist International, both teams we saw in the best of 5 before, they like to see what the opponent wants to do first. Blacklist is asking Echo, Echo is asking Blacklist. Now Yaoi, he might get engaged for a little bit.
He does have the flicker here, pops the flicker just to escape. Blacklist International with a resource advantage before the first turtle spawns in 15 seconds.
That's going to be Blacklist here, knowing that they can buy time, but up top, Benny
already caught low, flickered out of that. Blacklist International now with 2 advantages in terms of resource, and maybe even Oheb can rotate down below.
Oh, but there's 3 members from Echo here. Sanji still clearing the wave. Carl DZ dashes on out. Sanford setting it up. Turtle less than half health.
That's going to be the final blow by Edward. Carl DZ going to be stunned up, but has the heavy spin. It does not matter. It's the first blood picked up by Echo, but the turtle will be slain by Blacklist International. Killed or objective. Benny going to be slain in the gold lane. Blacklist strikes back, making it equal.
2 ults spent by Blacklist up top. Echo takes 2 down in the bottom, but they do get turtle, I'm talking about Blacklist, was that worth it, LaFell?
I would say it's not that worth it because in my personal opinion, getting kills is very good because you can establish map pressure because what's the objective of getting the turtle? Sure, you want the gold, sure, you want the XP, but you want more control. Now, Edward going up against Sanford taking quite a bit of damage and Sanford's going to get chased.
Circling Eagle onto Sanford here. Haji does not have the feather airstrike. Down to basic attacks coming in. Sanji not going to be here to help him in time. Sanford falls in the XP lane.
The Festival of Blood lifesteal is just not enough at this level. 3 minutes in, and I'm not sure if there's enough. Yeah, no, none at all into the emblems.
Many though, look at that. That's going to be the damage coming in. The Numenal Blast charged in, but knowing that Oheb has the Purify, they decide not to commit just yet.
Yeah, looking at all of the emblems as well as the way that they're setting up, Sanford, his personal goal in this game is to get at least 3 kills. Once he has that 3 kills, he will maximize his emblem. Oh my Venus getting poked out just a little bit. But now, looking at the map, if Echo could give those 3 kills over to Sanford, we can see Echo being a little bit more explosive.
You can expect that Sanford's going to look for it. He's going to pressure Edward hard here. Sent him home just now because they want to time the way that this turtle goes. Again, we're 20 seconds away. Benny Cutie pressuring Oheb as well. Oh my Venus and Yawi playing footsies, making sure that their gold laner gets the advantage.
The zoning coming in again, right? This is what we kind of expect in the gold lane matchup. Harith, once you get to level 4, isn't really going to be able to threaten the Lunox. And even in the XP lane, we saw that Edward was winning early on, but now that Sanford has gone that level 4, has gone a few items down, it's a bit tough for Benedetta.
Oh, turtle already spawned. Carl Teasy spots out Haji. Sanford, yeah, there's the RWM.
Not going to be able to find anything else though. The stun does connect with the feather airstrike connecting onto Sanford. The Petrify locks him down. Edward finds the pick up. Blacklist International now with a man advantage. Rotating around the turtle, circling Eagle onto Yawi. He's going to be able to find his stun. Carl Teasy jumping in. Numenal Black charged in with the Flicker as well. Oheb with no Purify here, doesn't use it just yet. Why still winning the Retribution battles at the top? This is on force. Now Yawi going to be able to dodge away for now. That's a lot of burst damage as Yawi will be slain by Edward. Echo losing out in the straight.
Blacklist has amazing battlefield awareness. They knew exactly where every member of Echo was. They almost threatened orange steal from Carl Teasy, but they're not done.
A stun and a knock-up. It's still Matilda Airlines here for Blacklist International.
Blacklist is showing what they want to do with this draft. You want to establish control. You want to make sure that the Riverside, you're winning. And the specialty of having a Matilda is when someone overextends, they're not really overextending. In their previous fight, in the Turtle, they were very focused. What do we want to do? Turtle first, but now they want to kill.
And they get it, right? It's onto Venus, the roamer.
Anything that Echo can get here in the first 5 minutes, they will. In the first 2, they were willing to trade and get some advantages, but now wait, a stun onto Oheb, forced out the 7 force.
Pops the Purify as well. The real world inflation almost catches Oheb, but he is able to get out of that one. Haji rotating towards the gold lane with a feather airstrike to clear it out, protecting his tier 1 up top.
This is difficult because we said for Echo, for them to win, they have to win the lanes. Here in the early game, not exactly the story because Blacklist now ahead maybe 1.5k. LaFell, what's going on?
I would say it's not enough because Blacklist, they understand this as well. So as long as they delay, as long as they wait for Oheb to get 2 items, then it's basically they're already doing at least half of their win condition. So it's not about Echo not doing it. It's more about Blacklist saying this time and time again. We understand how your draft works, so we're just going to play around it. So even though, okay, so here's the thing. Echo, they needed to win by 2K, by 2,000 gold. That's LaFell's threshold. So if Blacklist having 1.5K lead ahead, they're really at the driver's seat.
Well, right now, it does seem that way, but Echo are going to be able to force it out. Oheb going to be caught low, but Venus comes in to save Oheb again. Haji with the rotation, circling Eagle to lock Yawi down. Good selection right now. So the airstrike will come through. Yawi going to be able to get the stun down onto Venus before he gets taken low. Now, guess who's here? It's Sanji with real world inflation. Jumping in, but that you go. It's going to be the guiding way. Haji going to be slain though by Benny, who uses the chaos to take him down. Sanji still poking Venus down. Echo are looking to get the siege down onto the tier 1. Meanwhile, on the turtle side, Carl Teasy is going to be taken low with Sanford. It's a 2v2. That's going to be Bravest Fighter popped into the back line right now. As Carl Teasy going to be able to find it, and Wise is going to fall. Edward finding the stun onto 2 with an eye for an eye to dodge away from the CC. But still, Echo They win out on that trade.
Not just that trade, but on two fronts. They pushed up top, got a kill down bottom, and took the last hurdle of the game.
We got a lot here because, again, 500 goals, that's great, but Sanford having one kill. He has one stack on his emblem, and now looking at this, Carlos, he's in too deep.
He's looking for a steal here. He does get the orange buff, not punished enough by Blacklist International. Oheb and Haji falling in the gold lane once again. We spoke about this. Winning lanes is how Echo can get it done, and Benny, 3 kills on him right now.
Finest example of caster curse. You start talking about it, you start questioning it, and it comes up almost immediately. Yawi with the Numinum Blast.
Definitous welcome to cancel it out. That's the anti-CC coming in. As Sanji does the damage onto the tier 1. Bravest fighter by Sanford just to get out. Gets that anti-CC down, unstoppable. Meanwhile, Blacklist International trying to make their way up to the gold lane. Gonna be poked down by Benny as Carl TZ sieging down that tier 2 in the gold lane. Carl TZ gonna be careful here. Takes the turret down. Gets out with relative ease.
What a swing for the House of Highlights. Unbelievable. I can't believe that maybe 4 or 5 minutes ago we were talking about how Blacklist was ahead, possibly way past the lapel threshold, but now it's Echo who's pushing it, 2.5k ahead.
Well, they have gone way and above the threshold, and the way that they did it is because they understand, okay, we're just going to stay in lane. There's no use trying to out-rotate Blacklist at this point, so we're just going to say because Oheb is going to be the one that's going to deal a lot of the DPS damage later on, so shut him down first. Right now, there might be a skirmish in mid.
For the airstrike was used up just to clear up the waves. Echo, with this composition so far, can constantly be threatening these sieges. And also, they can also be looking for a lot of plays on the map. A lot of kill pressure here in their lanes.
Yep, and that's why they're ranked first in average kills so far, 16 plus, because the way that they attack the game, the way that they approach it with their strategy is they want to convert from kills. They don't want to take objectives only. They want to win first and then go from there, which is, I think, what they're doing here. They're baiting the Lord. This is a Lord dance if I've ever seen one.
Oh, Sanji's taking low. Edward jumps in, but Sanji flickers out on the final blow. The Petrify still available by Edward right now as he uses eye for an eye, but Sanford notices that. Jumps in with the bravest fighter. A lot of resources spent already as Wise looks for a better position. Haji going to be able to actually dash in with wings by wings as that's the Luminous Blast connecting onto Edward. Edward going to be taken low, taken down by Sanford. And that's going to be a 50-50 play around the Lord. Wise here versus Carl TZ, and Carl takes it down. There's a bond force by Oheb. Not enough to deal with damage right now as Yaoi's going to be able to get the stun down onto Haji, who's going to be able to dash out of that one with wings by wings. Feather airstrike to snipe Sanji down. Benny! With the dash, takes the kill onto Haji.
Was that Benny Cutie DD? No, didn't even need the flicker.
Dude, that was Benny QT. And again, looking at the items here, because we got to see whether they are strong now or not. Looking at Benny Cutie, having 3 core items, Cloud Destiny, Lightning Treasure, as well as Divine Glaive. Right now, oh my Venus getting engaged by Yawi.
Numinum Blast again, locking the Queen down. Venus gonna be chased down under the tier 2. Wise here providing the support. Carl TZ looking for an angle, but will back off for now. Tier 1 falling in the mid lane. Echo pushing the pace and the tempo.
Thou shalt not take my queen, says Wise. Echo pressuring mid lane tier 2, even tier 2 down bottom. That's Sanford going solo, Lord up top. Echo is 5k ahead here, 11 minutes in.
It's still not over because Blacklist International, they can still come back because they have a very beefy front line, as well as a lot of damage coming in from Haji and Oheb. Oheb just finished the Holy Crystal. Looking at the damage from Haji. Haji can't connect it just yet. Carl TZ is spotting people out. The Lord is here. Will Echo engage?
They will. Numinum Blast charged up already. Just to zone the other members away as Oheb jumps in with his on force. Wise in the front lines, providing the support. Real world manipulation, baited in. Sanji not dealing enough damage for now. Blacklist just backing off. Echo doing the same thing, noticing they have the lead. It's disciplined plays from Echo.
Relatively safe defense and siege from Echo. They did their best to get the most out of that Elemental Lord, but we have a Luminous one possibly coming up in a minute and a half, forcing out a feathered airstrike. Echo is relentless. They're not leaving.
Yeah, but look at the way Blacklist, they're defending themselves because they're not necessarily sacrificing their own HP just to defend their base. Like, they're defending everything without taking too much. So now Blacklist, they're preparing themselves. In case Echo wants to engage, they can fight back. The problem is, Echo, they're not engaging. They know that they have a lead and they're not going to lose the lead. Looking at the items as well. Oh, but before that, Looks like everyone is just clearing everything out. Looking at Haji, he already has 2 main items. He's waiting for his own Holy Crystal. Once he has the Holy Crystal, the kill pressure is going to be a lot onto Echo. So right now, Blacklist, it looks like that's what they're waiting on. They're waiting for their carries to actually complete the items first.
It looks like Echo has cornered Blacklist into their base, and this is the trademark Blacklist defense. A lot of teams worldwide have been on the receiving end of this defensive rubber band, and it's not impossible that Blacklist still comes back, but with Echo at 6K playing this defensively, playing this disciplined, waiting for this Lord coming up in 5 seconds, it looks like Echo also knows how to combat that.
It's going to be really tough now with a 7,000 gold lead technically built up by Echo. But with Blacklist minimalizing their losses, it seems like despite that 7,000 gold deficit, they're still able to contest, they're still able to open up the map without grouping up as 5.
Yeah, looking at the map as well, Blacklist, they're not really moving away from each other. They should understand that this Lord is going over to Echo for free. Having that Lunox makes it very difficult for you to contest.
And that's the power spike we're looking at. Echo, this is the inevitable. They have set themselves up for success here. And for Blacklist, the answer is to send Agent Zero, send Edward into the long lane and try to push that, because not a single tier 1 has fallen for Echo.
They didn't even have to use the Retribution, by the way. So Carlteasy was able to steal the purple buff away. So right now, again, Echo are just building up the way, slowly but surely, to finally take some base turrets down.
This is what kind of feels bad as a Baras. You kind of don't care too much about your buffs getting taken away, but what you do care about is it's hard for you to maintain those stacks, because Baras is at his strongest at like, what, 15 stacks? Because looking at Wise now, that is a pretty small Wise.
That's a small dinosaur there, and you're right. While Echo's taking away even the small camp, the small creeps in Blacklist jungle, and then freezing the waves, waiting for it to sync with this Lord, then this is the best that Blacklist can do. Oh, there's a couple of ults spent in. Oh, very low.
And we're going to be caught in the Luminon Blast as Benny jumps in with the damage. And that's the combo, the notorious one. As Echo now looking for the siege into the base turret in the mid lane. Lord still marching in the top lane. Concealed play, going to be popped in. Echo looking for more. That's the airstrike popped in, but look at Stanford, he flickers under Haji, but he's going to be able to get out for a bit. Haji going to fall. The circling eagle does not save the queen. Oheb, the last man standing, but Echo will secure game number 1.
Ang limang Echo fans make noise all around as their team takes game 1. It's a long journey, folks. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So game 1 is great for momentum, but they still got to watch their backs. Blacklist will pick up so quick from this victory.
Looking at this game, the reason why Echo could beat out Blacklist International is not that Blacklist necessarily made a mistake, is that Echo did not make a mistake. Because with their draft, having the Matilda, they're trying to bait out Echo to over-engage, overextend, use all of their skills early to get any kind of objectives and then fight back. But Echo, they did not do that. They won the lane. They made sure that Oheb was heavily pressured, and then after that, it's like, okay, just don't overcommit. Just take things slow, and then end the game, get profit.
Or because they're killer whales, right?
Correct.
And that's exactly why they know how to use the kill pressure so well. In the gold lane, they knew Lunox versus Herod is a winning lane for the Lunox. Benny QT on a winning matchup. That's already a recipe for disaster if you're a Blacklist fan. Now, they utilize that so much.